Welcome to our Trump briefing show, everyone. Today, we're diving into the latest political and economic headlines. First up, Harvard University is taking a hit with a $450 million reduction in federal grants, all because of its pushback against government claims of liberalism and antisemitism on campus. The Biden administration is making a stand, demanding changes and freezing billions in grants, while Harvard fights back in court. It's a high-stakes battle over free speech, politics, and funding. Next, the Democrats are turning their attention to PepsiCo, accusing the giant of unfair pricing practices that favor big retailers over small stores. Senators Warren, Booker, and Nadler are demanding explanations amid concerns over inflation and anti-competitive behavior. Pepsi denies any wrongdoing, but this controversy shines a spotlight on corporate greed and the ongoing fight to keep competition fair. Finally, egg prices in the U.S. have finally fallen by 12.7%, marking the largest drop since 1984. Despite this good news, prices are still nearly 80% higher than last year, thanks to bird flu outbreaks and supply issues. Eggs have become a symbol of economic frustration, and while prices are easing, they're still a costly staple for many consumers. Please continue to watch for more details. The Toronto Star reports that Harvard University is facing a severe financial crackdown from the Trump administration, which has cut an additional $450 million in grants following Harvard's vocal opposition to government allegations of liberalism and antisemitism. The Federal Anti-Semitism Task Force accused Harvard of fostering discrimination and virtue signaling, claiming that the university has failed to adequately address racial discrimination and antisemitism on campus. This comes after the administration previously froze $2.2 billion in federal funding, and Harvard's president, Alan Garber, has responded by suing the government, asserting that Harvard remains compliant with the law and challenging the legitimacy of these sanctions. The administration's demands include leadership changes and revisions to admissions policies, part of a broader campaign targeting elite universities that have defied the government's directives, such as Columbia and the University of Pennsylvania. The Independent details how Democrats have shifted their scrutiny toward corporate practices, specifically targeting PepsiCo's pricing strategies amid concerns about inflation. Senators Elizabeth Warren, Cory Booker, and Representative Jerry Nadler have demanded explanations from Pepsi regarding alleged disparities in pricing between large chains and smaller retailers, which could harm local businesses and inflate consumer costs. This political pressure is rooted in broader concerns over corporate greed and anti-competitive practices, with Warren and her colleagues framing the issue as a key driver of inflation. The lawsuit filed by the FTC against PepsiCo during the Biden administration, which accused the company of rigging competition, has been criticized as politically motivated by the company and some officials, highlighting the contentious debate over the role of corporate conduct in economic inflation. CBC reports that egg prices in the U.S. have finally declined after months of record highs caused by outbreaks of bird flu and supply chain disruptions. In April, the average price for a dozen eggs fell by 12.7%, marking the first decrease since late 2024, though prices remain nearly 80% higher than the previous year. The persistent bird flu outbreak has decimated flocks across the country, keeping egg prices elevated despite some recent relief. President Trump's efforts to lower food costs, including the imposition of tariffs, have complicated the picture, with some producers raising prices again in response to tariffs and ongoing outbreaks. The situation underscores the fragility of the food supply chain and the enduring impact of health crises and trade policies on everyday consumer goods. The Toronto Star reports that India firmly rejects President Donald Trump's claim that he played a role in de-escalating tensions with Pakistan through trade negotiations. Despite Trump's assertions that trade leverage prompted both nations to cease military hostilities, Indian officials, including Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ranveer Jaiswal, emphasized that no discussions on trade occurred during their recent high-level contacts. India's stance remains clear: issues concerning Kashmir are to be resolved bilaterally, dismissing Trump's offer of mediation, which New Delhi considers unnecessary and contrary to its long-standing policy. This stance underscores the ongoing complexity of India-Pakistan relations, especially amid recent escalations following Indian military strikes inside Pakistan, which threaten regional stability and nuclear security. CNN highlights the surprising reality of falling egg prices, a sharp reversal from months of surges caused by avian flu outbreaks. Once inflated by a deadly bird flu that led to mass culling, egg prices last month plummeted by 12.7%, the largest monthly decline since 1984, with wholesale prices dropping dramatically and consumer prices finally reflecting this trend. President Trump, who previously claimed that egg prices had fallen by over 90%, now sees his assertions validated, albeit with some inaccuracies in the timing and percentage figures. The USDA's recent data confirms that demand has decreased and avian flu cases have declined, leading to lower prices, although they remain significantly higher than pre-outbreak levels, illustrating the complex dynamics of agricultural markets and supply chain responses. Yahoo US details the Trump administration's push for increased NATO defense spending, aiming for allies to raise their investments to 5% of GDP. U.S. Envoy Matthew Whitaker emphasizes this goal as essential for national security amid ongoing threats, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine. While NATO countries have committed to the current 2% target, many fall short of even that, with some, like Belgium and Spain, unlikely to meet the proposed 3.5% by 2032. The United States itself has reduced its defense expenditure as a share of GDP over the past decade, raising questions about the alliance's collective military readiness. Whitaker underscores the importance of fair treatment for U.S. defense firms and warns that excluding American technology could hinder interoperability and innovation, amidst broader European efforts to reduce reliance on U.S. security imports. The Toronto Star highlights Prime Minister Mark Carney's ambitious pledge to limit non-permanent residents to less than 5% of Canada's population, a promise aimed at alleviating housing and social service pressures. However, critics like Benjamin Tal from CIBC question the reliability of official census data, emphasizing the known undercounting of temporary foreign workers and international students. This skepticism underscores a broader concern about the integrity of government statistics, especially as political leaders worldwide, from Donald Trump to Stephen Harper, have historically manipulated or suppressed scientific data and research to serve ideological or economic agendas. Trudeau's government has made efforts to restore scientific independence, but funding and political influence still pose challenges, raising fears that future policies, particularly on energy, environment, and Indigenous rights, may be driven more by political expediency than by empirical evidence. The Washington-based political scene reveals a different kind of tension, with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer taking a rare and bold stance against the Trump administration. By halting all Justice Department nominations over concerns about a luxury jet gifted by Qatar, Schumer is emphasizing transparency and national security, demanding detailed explanations and investigations into foreign influence and potential corruption. His move signals deep unease among lawmakers about the administration's handling of foreign gifts and influence, especially amid broader worries about the politicization of justice and the integrity of foreign influence disclosures. While the impact of Schumer's blockade remains uncertain due to Republican control of confirmation processes, his stand underscores a growing vigilance among Democrats and some Republicans about safeguarding U.S. institutions from foreign and domestic misconduct. Meanwhile, in Japan, the cement industry is actively expanding into the U.S. market, leveraging the current tariffs and a booming housing demand fueled by the upcoming 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Companies like Taiheiyo Cement and Mitsubishi UBE Cement are eyeing acquisitions and new facilities in states like Texas, Arizona, and Nevada, where population growth and construction activity are high. The tariffs imposed by Trump have created a favorable environment for domestic production, potentially boosting prices and profitability, but also raising concerns about increased construction costs and delays. As Japan's domestic demand wanes due to demographic decline, these companies see the U.S. as a vital growth frontier, betting that the current trade policies will continue to favor their expansion despite potential economic downturns or supply chain disruptions. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.